Welcome to the Akron Public Schools Special Education 101, What About Special Education Core Plus, training module for new teachers. This training module is tied to District Focus Area 1, rigorous teaching and learning. Our learning targets are to, number 1, develop an understanding of the role of the Office of Special Education in Akron Public Schools. 2, identify different disability categories. 3, recognize and use special education terminology. And 4, identify your role and responsibilities when working with students with disabilities. At APS, we believe that all students can learn at high rates through learning supports with the goal of cutting the achievement gap in half. The focus of the Office of Special Education is to ensure that all students with disabilities are able to participate in an educational program specially designed to meet their unique individual needs, continue to make progress toward grade-level academic standards and IEP goals, receive their education in the least restrictive environment, or LRE, and are afforded a continuum of services. Akron Public Schools offers a full continuum of services for our students. In APS, all students are considered regular education students first. Data on interventions and strategies must be available to consider a more restrictive placement. Intervention specialists, speech and language pathologists, school psychologists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists are assigned to every building in Akron Public Schools and can answer many questions regarding a student you work with. The principal of your building is the immediate supervisor and can provide multiple supports. Every school in Akron Public Schools is assigned a special education coordinator. There are 13 different disability categories. As a general education teacher, it is important to remember that the student's label, ED, AU, etc., does not drive the placement, self-contained special education classroom. For example, as a general education teacher, you may have a student identified in the category of emotional disturbance. Depending on the needs of the student, he or she may receive the majority of special services in the general education classroom. As a general education teacher, it is important for you to have an understanding of common special education terminology in order to support students with disabilities in your classroom. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act of 2004, or IDEA, is the federal law that guides how students with disabilities are educated. An Evaluation Team Report, or ETR, is a document used to outline whether a student has a disability and the special education and related services that the student may need to make progress in the general education curriculum. An Individualized Education Program, or an IEP, is a legal document designed by a team of educators, specialists, and the child's parents. It outlines the child's learning and/or behavioral goals and objectives. An Individual Education Program team is a group of individuals responsible for developing, reviewing, or revising an IEP for a child with a disability. All students are general education students first. However, some receive services and supports. Collaborate with the intervention specialists to identify which students have an IEP and work together to ensure that the student is making the progress required to close the achievement gap. Understanding each student's strengths and academic needs can take time and is crucial to their development. Accommodations are changes in the way materials are presented or in the way students demonstrate learning to include setting, timing, and scheduling.